There is a holiday story involving Walmart that's getting a lot of attention. We have a video that explains more. Take a look.
A photo is causing a bit of bad PR for Walmart, but relax, okay? As Walmart spokesman Corey Lundberg explained, a photo depicting a holiday food drive not for the homeless, but for Walmart employees, two groups not necessarily mutually exclusive, is, quote, part of the company's culture to rally around associates and take care of them when they face extreme hardships. This particular extreme hardship just happens to be working at Walmart. Regardless, over at Our Walmart, which is a labor organization whose mission is to unionize Walmart associates, they put the number that people make on average around $15,000. To put that in perspective, the poverty line in America is $23,550 for a 4-person household. Bottom line, Walmart doesn't pay so great.
Wow. So Walmart is aware that they're underpaying their employees, so they have a food drive for their own employees. And the fascinating part about this is a spokesperson came out, released a statement, and he said something along the lines of, well, yeah, I mean, we're just trying to do something nice for our employees that have tough times during the holidays. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. And that is so unbelievable to me. Instead of taking action with your highly profitable company and making changes so these people have a livable income, you're deciding to put that burden on other people. By the way, the Americans that are now funding the governmental programs for these employees, right? The government subsidizes these people as a result of Walmart not paying them enough. So let's have a little bit of a discussion about that. Priscilla, I want to start off with you. I mean, what's going to end up happening with Walmart? I mean, they keep trying these PR stunts to get in everyone's good graces, but then they do crap like this.
I don't know. I mean, this is sort of the Grinch who stole Christmas, the Grinch who stole Thanksgiving. You know, they're making their employees work on Thanksgiving Day, and they're not paying them, right? They're not paying them enough to even feed their own families on these holidays, to be able to provide for themselves. So what's going to happen with Walmart? You know, I think they will continue to engage in the kind of economic policies that they're engaged in until they're held accountable, until there's some market consequence for this. And the question is for all of us, are we willing to hold Walmart accountable for the exploitation of their labor force, for the costs that they're imposing on all of us? Are we going to make sure that they can raise the wages of their employees to a livable wage that we all benefit, because they are the largest employer in the country?
They are.
Imagine the consequence that would have for all of us if they raised the wages they were paying their employees. That would have national implications. That would raise the quality of life, not just for their employees and their families, but for all of us.
Absolutely. I feel like whenever it comes to these issues, when it comes to increasing the minimum wage or ensuring that these companies are paying a living wage, and we're seeing it with fast food companies as well, you know, we tend to neglect the middle class and the importance of the middle class when it comes to them contributing to our economy. An economy doesn't work if you have the top 1% earning all the wealth. But Jody, do you feel like, you know, people in the middle class are rallying together in support of one another? Because there seems to be a little bit of a divide, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, yeah, I see Walmart just like I see George Zimmerman as a symptom of a bigger problem. Mm-hmm. I see Walmart is a symptom of the failure of 30 years of policy. You know, NAFTA, free trade agreements, where we destroy unions, where we rob the working class of its power to negotiate decent living wages, where we let jobs go overseas without trying to hold on to them in ways that will grow a middle class. And so at the end of the day, Walmart winds up being an exemplar of where we've gone as an economy with our working class. But it's not just them alone. They'll say they will tell you, we're just rational profit maximizing egoists. We have shareholders. We're just doing, if we didn't do it, somebody else would. Okay? And that's the nature of the economy and macroeconomic forces that people like Clinton unleashed with NAFTA, that Dems and Republicans, both sides, don't care about working people, don't care about the underclass. And so this is, to me, this is a symptom of a pathology that is political in nature and has been running over 30 years.
Diane?
I agree with him completely, but I'm going to cheat a little, because if we weren't subsidizing Walmart with all the government funds, we would have those funds to use for other things. And I want to put in a plug, since we were talking about prisons. You know, we passed Prop 36 that said that non-violent, non-serious, non-sexual offenders who under 3 strikes were sentenced 25 years to life could have their cases reconsidered. They could be resentenced, they could be sent home. There are still 800 prisoners from LA County who are still in prison a year after that was passed because there's no place for them to go. The judge in LA is slowly looking at each case one by one, and they won't let the men and women out unless there's a transitional plan in place for them. So right now, prisoners who use wheelchairs, there's no place that's ADA compliant for them to go. People who have drug or emotional or psychological problems, there's no place for them to go. They're entitled to be released. They should be free today, but 800 of them from LA County are still locked up a year after we passed this law.
So what do you think should happen? Where should they go? Do you think that
Well,
corporations...
if we had that money that we're using to subsidize Walmart, maybe we could have transitional housing. We could have reentry programs. These people are in prison where we're paying plenty to keep them there because on the outside there's no place for them.
Yeah, you make a really great point about that. Just to give you guys a sense of how much money we spend on subsidizing Walmart, and this is based on what the government put out there. Okay, this is a governmental study. They found that we spend as much as $1.7 million a year on each Walmart supercenter with 300 employees. That's just to show you how much money we are spending to make sure that these people can put food on their tables. No person in the US who is working a full-time job should be struggling to make ends meet. They should live a decent life with a livable income, okay? So anyone who supports Walmart or shops at Walmart fuels this type of behavior. And I really feel like officials in Congress need to grow some balls and make sure that these people are paid appropriately. Anyway, that's a topic that really upsets me because I hate seeing people work multiple jobs, work more than 40 hours a week, and they still can't provide for their families. What kind of country are we living in?
Well, let me tell you, I'm hopeful about Walmart, and the reason why I'm hopeful, notwithstanding all the things that Jody mentioned, is because of the folks that are working there that are struggling and the folks that are standing in solidarity with them, pushing for unionization, pushing for better working conditions. And I think that they've hit a point nationally where now their voices are really starting to be heard. You know, you're sort of having these protests not only at Walmart but also at low-wage fast food organizations where the employees and their communities are really starting to rally around them with respect to this question of unionization. So I'm really hopeful about that.